So did we want to just have me do a surprise intro, or
Sure.
hopefully we don't have any loud plumbing noises?
My only
or
idea
something?
was Back to the Future setup, and then the pull the rug under with the actual movie. So
I can. If you want me,
I
to
can't
Because I mean,
free
believe
as
I can't
the
believe
three
that
Back
we
to
would
the
do.
Future films and what I can remember of the cartoon, I'll do that.
I just thought that was funny.
Listen. I don't think
Yeah.
we do like we're gonna do a movie and then a rug pull as
Yeah.
an intro so much. Like, why don't we just go with mine? We'll do something.
Okay.
Hey everybody, it's me, Ilion, your best friend, and we're here. We've heard about a new movie that's getting the worst reviews imaginable, and since we previously talked about how Yoshi is a dog, and we have our favorite East Coast understander here, Jeff, we will absolutely not be fucking watching Mario Galaxy, because fuck that.
The family dog. A faithful friend. A happy helper. And a delicious side dish. There have been many shaggy dog stories, but none more amazing than the story of Bobo.
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 Bobo?
Discovered in the wilderness.
Where have you been for the last 28 years? I was beginning to get worried.
He was raised by wolves.
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 Returned to a world he doesn't understand.
I want to sign him up for tennis lessons.
Driven by primitive instincts.
I have to go potty.
With the proper teaching, Bobo could take his place in society.
On the brink of inheriting a huge fortune.
No sibling jealousy on your part? What? Meiji Mike.
Benji, have you seen Bobo?
And now, victim to his brother's schemes.
Once your brother puts his signature on these papers, he'll sign over all rights to his inheritance to you. Oh.
Or will this dog
Bobo, sit.
outsmart his master and start acting like a man? Christopher Lloyd,
All that money, what's he gonna spend it on? Kibble?
Colleen Camp, Cloris Leachman,
We will neuter a cat in your name.
and Howie Mandel as Bobo
Oh my God!
in Walk Like a Man.
Dogs, they're coming. They're coming your way. They'll be here soon.
Hey, they're the dog people. aren't
Walk like a man, talk
Talk like a man.
Hi everyone.
If you can. If you can.
If you can. We should have done Super Mario Galaxy because we also had a plumbing side story involved in this week too. So, but this is Rough Cuts, our podcast about good boys and bad movies. I'm one of your hosts, Ilian. This is my co-host, Boix.
Part of a good plumbing story is always shit. So
Exactly. And then we have Jeff, our special guest this week.
Hello.
Welcome, welcome. Normally, we are a podcast about good boys and bad movies where we watch a bad dog movie and then immediately talk about it, except for when my basement is flooding and I need to let in plumbers to have them fix it. So we're recording a little bit later. And, we've had some time
now
for
we're
this one to
talking about
percolate instead. Yes. We got an extra
You know,
day of
I
letting...
don't often think about
Howie.
Howie Mandel being led around on a leash by Christopher Lloyd, but I'm glad that I spent an extra 24 hours thinking about it this time.
I'm glad I wasn't the only person that was thinking about this a lot the last 24 hours, because I was thinking about this a lot.
Just in the back of my brain, just is like a migraine, you know.
Okay, but here's the thing.
Is that what that was?
I think that Jeff and I can both agree that Boix is lying currently, and we both know that he considers Howie Mandel on that level a lot more often than you'd think, because we were a part of the Dark Souls run-throughs that you did as Yowie Mandel, so we know.
No, that's my original character. That's
you're-
different. Yeah.
TMT, do not steal, do not steal.
Yeah, that's my original character. My original character, Yowie Mandel, hosts a game show with 30 boxes, and 29 of them are mimics. And then, of course, he also hosts the famous TV show Canada's Got Talent.
Yes.
Yes, very good.
Yeah.
This movie. We have to talk
It's a movie.
about the
It's
movie?
a movie.
We have to talk about a movie.
It's
unfortunately.
87, right? Walk Like a Man.
1987.
1987, yeah.
Cloris Leachman, Howie Mandel, Christopher Lloyd. It's weird seeing young Christopher Lloyd. We kind of talked about that. He starts out as old Christopher Lloyd, which is
He's always
even
old
more
Christopher
concerning.
Lloyd. Yeah, I don't know how that works.
But not as old as Doc Brown, old Christopher Lloyd. He's more of like an older Christopher Lloyd.
Yes, yeah, he's middle Christopher.
He's kind of like a grizzly Yukon Christopher Lloyd. So I think the beard and the hair was really aging him more.
Yeah.
Yeah, more of a Kevin of the North Christopher Lloyd.
Please don't.
Yeah.
that is bottom 2 movies that we've ever seen. It's bad.
Yeah, anyway, so Christopher Lloyd, I was looking at the IMDb for this movie. Because, I mean, we're watching the movie because it's Christopher Lloyd walking around with Howie Mandel on a leash, which is a thing we joke about a lot. We joke about... whenever an actor, usually Gary Busey, is voicing a dog, we're like, oh, you'd think that it's a dog on screen, but it's just Gary Busey walking around on all fours with a leash. And that's a very funny joke, because that's not what happened. But
except for the one time that it did, which is in Quigley, where Gary Busey walks around on all fours and on a leash.
Well,
but
that was an artistic decision.
Yes.
Right? Like, that was about expression, you know. But in this movie, it just happened. That's just the plot. That's not a joke. That's just the plot. And when I was looking at the IMDb, it was talking about a whole bunch of little, like, trivia. They have, like, no fucking trivia on this movie. They have nothing. This movie is a black hole of information about it. There's no budget. There's no information about how it was made. Except for one interview that's mentioned on IMDb from some user that said, well, at Dragon Con 2011, Christopher Lloyd said this is his most embarrassing movie he's ever been in. No reference to where this came from, where it is, where the proof of this information is. And me being a dumbass had to go digging through random, like, 100-view YouTube videos to try and find a 16, 15-year-old recording of a panel at a convention. And I fucking found it.
Rubbing his temples and going, oh, God, walk like a man.
I found it.
Clooney talking about a film that he did that he just... wanted to die from. I did a film like that, and if you look up some of those books that have, it's sort of compendium, has all the films ever made, and it has stars, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stars after it. There's a paragraph that describes the film and all that. I've got one of those that has a little turkey and it was called A Man and a Dog. It was about twin brothers, and their father dies, but one of the brothers has been lost, and it's found out that he's been left out in the wilderness, and he was raised by wolves. And there's another brother who dad's, close to his dad, and stands to inherit this vast fortune if the wild brother is not found. And he is found, and he's on all fours all the time, but he does begin to become civilized, and of course in the end he gets the money. And I have a scene at the end where I'm down on my hands and knees in a court of law barking. There's other moments in the film. That's a film I don't want to see again. It is an embarrassment.
Thank you.
It's weird because, I think his performance is fine. That's the weird part.
Yeah, sure.
It's just, I wouldn't want to be associated with this movie.
No, that's one of
the
those.
thing. Yeah.
So, I have. I didn't. I don't want to say I couldn't find the video because I didn't look for it. Let's put that out there. I just didn't look for it.
Boix is the only one that does work on this. Don't worry about it.
I didn't look for it, but you know, I've told you too that I was something of a latchkey kid, and so you know, I'm middle aged. I absolutely was watching late night television when this movie came out, and I swear I saw Howie Mandel on the Tonight Show with Johnny Carson promoting this vehicle, and I'm air quoting vehicle, and I swear he was talking about the possibility of what they would do in sequels on there, and whether Howie knew it was a bomb and was taking the piss, or he was being serious, or just my little, you know, preschool age brain couldn't tell. Like, I like to imagine that, you know, they thought this was going to hit, and they were going to do a whole series of these, kind of like your Benjis, your Gidgets, you know, your various classic
Shaggy Dog
chicanery movies. Yeah, your carry-ons.
Your Quigley 2, which is definitely still coming out because we're the official
still
podcast
coming
of
out,
Quigley
okay?
2.
Listen, we will continue
it'll be
this
any
podcast
day now
until we will close this podcast out with Quigley 2, and it's going to happen any moment.
Any day now.
Any day they'll release
I
this from this
can't
prison.
imagine. I cannot imagine how you would make a sequel to this movie. Because there's technically an end, I guess.
In the way that this is technically a movie.
It's it's less a movie and more 50 minutes of Howie Mandel just kind of wiggling around.
Yes. Yeah, I want to talk about some of that soon.
Yeah.
So,
but
I have a question.
I don't know what you would do with that. Is kind of where I'm at. Like,
So I know why Gary Busey is in Quigley, because as I'm sure we all know, Gary Busey has CTE from a terrible motorcycle accident when he was much younger, and even his friends and loved ones like there's very distinct phases of Gary, and so like a lot of the weirdness with Gary Busey you do have to take with a grain of salt. And I say this as someone with, you know, some brain trauma. You know, it'll affect your thinking. Why did Howie Mandel take this movie?
Oh, because Howie Mandel was a nobody at the time.
He had St. Elsewhere. St. Elsewhere was a hit.
Yeah, but like
this is like his third or fourth credit.
Yeah, this was really
it's
early.
Very early.
The much better question is, why did Christopher Lloyd or Cloris Leachman appear in this movie? That's the real question.
I think it's because Arnie called them and said he was going to go for the role, and then they called their, you know, they called their agent and be like, we got to get on there before Arnie does. And then Arnold's like laughing the whole way.
Long-standing feud with Arnold Schwarzenegger really coming into.
It's just like Stallone and Stop or My Mom Will Shoot.
Yeah,
you know,
same with
the
Cloris
same situation.
Leachman.
Yeah, and Cloris Leachman. God, Cloris and Arnie had such a feud.
You should see her bench.
I don't want to. She's gonna bend that bar with all that weight. I'm just gonna be emasculated.
But so we're doing a lot of talking, but not a lot of talking about the movie, because I wanted to, in general, just say, like, so this movie starts out with it's like 1905. I know it's not, but it's basically 1905, middle of winter, dog sleds. We're on the frontier and we're doing like a gold rush. So like, I mean, maybe even 1800s kind of thing.
It feels out of time in some way.
Like they're in a log cabin. They're doing a dog sled. They're getting a gold mine going because there's this gold rush. It's Christopher Lloyd and his two sons. And then the one son shoves the other son off of the dog sled as they're driving away. And he gets lost in the snow. That's our intro. 28 years later? 28? Yeah.
Yeah.
Is the film, yeah. 28 years
yes.
later.
God.
Yeah.
I'm not doing more rug pull jokes. We can't keep doing it. We can't keep getting away with it. But 28 years later, in 1987, a Jeep pulls up.
28 years later, yeah.
A Jeep pulls up and finds Howie Mandel in the forest, having been raised by wolves. So apparently this was in like the 60s that they were
59,
dog
I
sledding.
think, right?
Yeah, the famous gold rush of the 60s.
Yeah.
With their dog
1860s,
sleds and
I
your
assume, but...
frozen wastelands and
Well, I mean, it's your classic George of the Jungle tale. You know, like...
And it crosses over into some New Jersey lore because who finds him but Ginny, the last girl from Friday the 13th Part 2. She had to get away from New Jersey after the whole Voorhees debacle. That's why she was on the West Coast.
That makes a lot of sense, actually.
As an environmentalist.
Yeah. She's an environmentalist.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very
She's
important.
very into environments, I believe.
I mean, we've got all swamps out here. She's seen enough swamps. She needs to see like a nice big pine tree or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she just finds Howie Mandel, and that's our movie. That's our start. And there's not really anything you're like, well, okay, what's the context for him being found? Like, what's the tension or anything? And it's like, well, there kind of isn't any. She's
kind of for a while. Like, well, she's talking to her park ranger friend / dad.
Yeah,
maybe
he's like a father figure to her in a way, but he only shows up for like the first 3 minutes of movies.
He shows up barely, but what he does have is a chest full of newspaper clippings that are weirdly specific to this actual, literal only situation you would ever need that chest of newspaper clippings for.
So specific that it tells you exactly where his brother at one point branded him on his ass, so they can check Howie Mandel's ass for his proper branding.
Well, you know, it was a lost child, and when you have a lost child, you need to give all of the information to help you find this lost child, and, like, do they have any distinct marks? A child probably isn't going to have a bunch of bad tattoos, you know, such as a person like myself would have. I would be a very easy corpse to identify. But what does the child have? Well, his dirtbag brother branded him on the ass with, I believe, a horseshoe.
For some reason.
Yeah. I mean, well, you say for some reason. Listen, you chip your animals, you brand your kids. It was you've updated the methods nowadays, but like, you know, you got to make sure that you got the right one.
I don't.
So
they didn't have permanent laundry markers. You know what? You stumbled onto it. There weren't laundry markers back then. You couldn't just mark number 1, number 2 on the boys. So you brand one with a horseshoe and the other with I don't know, a moon, maybe somebody with a balloon, and you got the Lucky Charms kids.
We're also missing a very important bit of information here, that Howie was raised by wolves in the woods.
Oh, yeah.
Specifically, like 6 shirtless, muscled guys that all run around in a pack together, like in Twilight.
Yeah.
I assume. Yeah.
He shows up. She rescues him.
Well, hang on. How does he show up? She sees
doesn't
the
he
pack
bonk
running.
his head?
Yes, she sees the pack running. He is not able to get low enough to go under the log. Just knocks himself out, and I think it was Boyks that pointed it out. The pack just scatters.
Oh yeah, he's dead.
Oh yeah, no, they leave him
guy.
immediately. His wolf family fucking hates him. They don't give a shit about him, and they dump him immediately. Yeah.
It's like, is that another human? Finally. It's been 28 years.
Yeah. So then they start going into this plot of his dad actually did find gold. So his dad was super rich, and he has an inheritance that he will get on his 30th birthday. Or like if he claims it before his 30th birthday, rather.
Yes.
And so he's 28 now. So you're like, oh, that's going to be the plot, is he has to do something to get his inheritance before time runs out. The thing is, I kind of wanted to talk about that because there is a movie here, but they don't know which movie they have, because they start out where he needs the money, like they set up that he needs to get it before his 30th birthday, and they have that as like a will scene. Howie needs to do it.
Yep.
But then they immediately jump to the brother, played by Christopher Lloyd again, as his younger self, being like, "Oh, we're bankrupt, and if I can scam him, then I can get the money. And so we have that as a plot. So like, oh, his brother is kind of a villain, but his brother kind of ends up helping him in some ways, and it's more his sister-in-law, like his wife, who's
his
like
wife wants to
drunk at home and saying like, oh, you should kill him, like find a way to get in an accident, do all this stuff. And then at the same time, then instead you have this like romance that they, after like 5 minutes of that, of Christopher Lloyd trying to kill him, then instead they bring back the environmentalist, and she's like, I can fix him. And they start
I just want
to...
Well, specifically, she just wants to study him for scientific research, and then after watching him like act like a dog, like a little puppy boy, she's like, I can't not fuck him.
As I have a quote on that I wrote down from Boyks regarding her starting to fall in love with the puppy man.
Wait, is this an exact quote?
This is an exact quote. I wrote it down.
Okay.
He's suckling on the big gulp like a teat.
I did not like that.
Yeah, no, that was weird. Yeah.
They went to 7-Eleven, as all good people do, and she got him a soda, and he was having some trouble understanding, how do you drink soda? And yeah,
I did in fact
absolutely.
I did in fact say that. I did in fact say that. Yeah.
That was the very first scene that she like took him out of the woods for, is she took him to 7-Eleven as his very first experience outside of the woods.
Yeah, it's like when somebody visits from like another country, you're like, well, I gotta take you to 7-Eleven so you can enjoy a big gulp and also some like hot dogs that have been rolling on the like heater for the last 12 hours.
Hey, make sure you turn the cup a little bit. Show it to the camera, please.
Oh yeah, sorry. And then I show you the aisles of chips where none of them are all dressed, and you just shriek.
Ugh. None of the best flavors. But so they bring into this romance subplot, and then at the end they do things like, oh, he actually needs money for the conservation for the wolves. So like,
was it to save the wolves?
But it's
or
like literally in the last 30 seconds. So it's all these different things. So like I had notes of like, is his brother a villain? His sister-in-law? Was there supposed to be a conservationist villain? Was this really a romance? Like, did he need money for the wolves? Why aren't the wolves around? They literally don't show up for the rest of the movie, from the very beginning when they dump him in the woods until the end in the courtroom when he goes, you know what? I do need the money. I need them for the wolves. And it's like, wait, what? Why does he need money for the wolves? We haven't seen anything about any of this. So this movie, any one of those, like you could do a movie of the brother trying to kill him for the money with the sister-in-law. That's a movie. You could do a movie where the woman falls in love with Howie over the course of it, and, you know, like they have some kind of tension there, and she eventually learns to love him. You could do that. I'm not saying any of these would be good movies, but they would be a film. You could do, there's an evil conservationist guy trying to, like, destroy that woods, and Howie needs to save all of his wolves, and he needs to learn to be a human so that he can get the money to save them. You could do that movie. They don't do any of them. They just don't do anything.
I mean, if they went the conservationist route, they'd have to teach you, the audience, how to spike trees to stop logging so that we can then keep the wolves in the woods.
Yeah, and make sure that you give little Bigfoot all of his joints like he needs.
You know, my first note, because I chose this movie. I was given choices. My first note was, I have only myself to blame.
Yeah.
And I was right.
True. It's true. Something bothers me about the romance plot, other than the implied bestiality of her being really into him being an actual dog in human form. There's not a single scene where Howie humps anybody's legs. That's what bothers me about the romance scene.
Right?
Like, you have the perfect setup for the humping the leg joke, which I'm sure Adam Sandler has done like 15 times now. But they don't do it. And I'm like, well, I know they didn't have restraint, so they just didn't think of it, I think.
Yeah, we saw the going to bathroom on the front lawn scene.
Yep, there was the piss scene. Multiple piss scenes.
Absolutely the piss scenes, yep. There was him chasing the cat through Lorraine Baines' dad's freshly paved cement. 3 times, 4 times?
Hell of a call out, by the way.
Yes.
Yeah.
Gonna insert real quickly here all the times that Jeff immediately did our job better than we did and was like, character actor, there's a character actor.
They did a scene where Howie literally face sits on a guy at a poker game, but no leg humping. Yeah. What are you doing? You fucked up your physical comedy and your comedy about... The only thing they had was physical comedy, so it's like...
Well, the other thing that I just wanted to say, I wanted to give Jeff more props for another one, which is that Jeff immediately was like, "Wait, boom and shot, boom, boom."
Oh, the boom mic,
caught the boom mic and everything.
It's important.
You caught
to see
all this stuff.
Mic.
We didn't notice any of this. We were just zoned out. We're so done.
I mean, it's an interesting movie, and I did have questions. So I did a little research on my own. So, okay, our director, Melvin Frank. What do we know about Melvin Frank?
That's a good question.
That's what I thought.
What do we know about Melvin Frank?
How many years before Walk Like a Man, 1987, do you think his last film was?
7.
Yeah, I was going to say 15.
8 years.
Oof.
8 years.
Okay.
Also a bomb. Also a bomb. Also a bomb. Do you know when he died?
Was it 1987?
1988. 1988. This is the last movie this man did. Okay. The other
legacy.
One. The writer is Mr. Robert Klane. Are you familiar with Robert Klane?
No.
Okay. Done some hits.
One is.
Weekend at Bernie's 1. Weekend at Bernie's 2. National Lampoon's European Vacation. That's the one where Rusty gets to fondle the boobs. In Bavaria, maybe Germany, not sure. It's been a while on that one. But more importantly, Mr. Robert, he, as I said, wrote Bernie 1 and 2. However, he produced and directed Weekend at Bernie's 2. So I'm kind of amazed that the physical comedy wasn't up to snuff, because I'm quite familiar with Weekend at Bernie's, as I feel that we all should be. And if you haven't watched the second one, they do a very accurate depiction and nuanced understanding of voodoo/Santeria. You should really go out of your way to see it.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense because parts of this movie do feel like dragging a corpse around.
I was gonna say this feels like reanimating.
It's not that out of left field.
No, puppeting around a corpse is a lot of what this feels like.
There's a scene where Science Lady is trying to teach Howie how to talk and how to read and write.
Yeah,
because he is a dog.
And it was also one of the plots that kind of came, and none of us... I don't think we missed it. It's just the movie did a bad job communicating, because this one it decided to switch into Christopher Lloyd wanted him to sign a piece of paper so that Christopher Lloyd would get his
money.
share of the inheritance.
Yeah.
It was one of the many shifts of where is this movie going.
So she has flashcards that she's showing Howie. And the flashcards are the what is wrong card.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of
picture matching, kind of.
Yeah, like
Highlights
here's a picture.
magazine. If you've seen that, the what spot the differences, that exact sort of thing.
It spot the difference, but it's like they're playing baseball, but the bat is a fish.
Yes, yeah.
But this movie felt like I was watching a flashcard of what is wrong in every scene.
Yes,
and it was almost always Howie. That's
really
wrong.
Was. Yeah.
Why is that there? Why are you acting like this? Why is there no emotion in this funny comedy scene? What is happening?
That was one of the things that I was going to mention when you said, I wanted to interrupt when you said that Howie is a dog. And I went, is he? Because they have the pee scene right away where he goes outside and
pisses on a tree.
He has to pee against a lamppost or a tree or whatever. Well, Christopher Lloyd is walking him. But then, when we get long stretches of this movie where, the environmentalist lady takes him to the mall, and it's just Howie do wacky things for 20 minutes. And that's just a huge portion of this movie. But the wacky things that he does are grab with his hands a mannequin's arm because he doesn't understand it's a mannequin, and then the arm comes off, and then he's like, oh, and freaks out. But I don't like stuff like that, or stealing a donation box from a priest that's just happens to be sitting in the mall.
Like he just walks by, grabs it, and keeps walking. Yeah.
What if these things signal dog to you?
I mean, it's more like toddler, I would say.
Like,
yeah.
There's so little that, like, nothing when he's actually just left to his devices to just go do physical comedy, Howie. Like, you very much could tell that I'm sure the direction was, okay, act like a dog, do something funny. You're the comedian, go do a thing.
Well, allegedly.
Yes, and his thing was, like, at a poker table, to climb across the poker table and then stick his ass on a guy's head?
Yeah, the face-sitting scene, which we all very much enjoyed. Yes.
Scent marking, sure.
Yeah.
Is that what dogs do? Sorry, I don't think that I've never had a dog. I've never had even a big dog climb across a table and just shove its ass onto the top of my head. Like,
yeah, well, yeah.
I had guinea pigs, and one of them used to like to sit on the other, but those are guinea pigs and not boys raised by wolves.
Maybe
so I don't know if that's a 1-to-1.
Maybe Howie was just raised by guinea pigs, and he's just learning from what he knows.
That could have been a better movie. Now I need to pick a nit here. Again, which I know. Oh, gee, I'm picking nits on Walk Like a Man, but I got to do it. So they did the scene where Ginny from Friday the 13th is teaching Howie what an escalator is. And I feel like there was absolutely potential for some great stuff where, like it's moving, he goes the wrong way, whatever. Like I'm here for that setup. I got it. I'm not going to complain about that. Here's my complaint. When he goes to use the stairs and he steps on them, pretending and expecting like it's going to be an escalator, and I think he does do the line where it says like, it's broken, right? Which, okay, fine. However, they have their mansion that he's living with the family. We see tons of stairs in there.
He goes up the stairs constantly.
There's so many stairs. We have, and this is like, and this was the conversation the three of us were having as we're watching. Is like, did they swap the reels around? Did they edit this wrong? These scenes should have, like, we were spitballing the director's renegade, Highlander 2 cut of this movie while we're watching it. And if this was in the beginning, then stuff makes sense later. But that's not the movie we saw.
Let's compare this scene of Howie walking through the mall, which, by the way, is the same mall from Terminator 2 and Chopping Mall.
Yes, yeah.
Good, very important.
Got to give credit to Blake.
Sherman Oaks Galleria in L.A., like kind of West Hollywood.
I have been there. My sister used to live in Sherman Oaks.
I love how
I got a Subway sandwich there.
Jeff Spot's character actor is Boyk Spot's Malls.
I spot the location, yeah.
Boyk, I ate a chicken parmesan from the Subway in that Galleria in like 2000.
Did you go to the mattress store where all the teens fuck and they get killed by the robot in the Chopping Mall?
No, I went to the Tower Records where my sister was working at the time. I know.
Fake fan.
Well, okay, but I did say I saw Chopping Mall on my local, UHF station after wrestling ended on like a Saturday or Sunday, and I was very confused by the movie, likely due to the editing of said, mattress, fuck scene.
Well, the other thing I noticed is that there's people in the mall, and they seem to be walking around and buying things. That's super weird. Malls are like very dead. It doesn't make sense to me, actually. Right?
Yeah.
Like that felt very like out of touch with reality. Anyway.
Just gonna look down and marinate, brother.
What I was saying is, so let's compare that to Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Sure.
They bring Genghis Khan to a mall, and he goes to a sports utility store and starts grabbing like a hockey stick and swinging it around like a weapon.
Yeah.
And you get like Abraham Lincoln hitting on women at the cafeteria or whatever, at the food court.
I mean, he was very tall and an excellent wrestler. And I mean, who wouldn't be into that?
Napoleon wanders off to a water park and does Ziggy Piggy.
Yes, yeah. Exactly,
there's fun scenes with these characters interacting out of place of things they're not used to. You could have Howie walk into a pet store.
I was going to say, like, why isn't Why doesn't he go to a pet store or a sports store even?
Or even just go to like the random like outlet store that sells like pet toys and things like that. Why does he go to an actual kids toy store with Teddy Ruxpin so they can do a fucking
product
placement for Teddy Ruxpin of all fucking things,
where he just sits there and talks back and forth with it because he doesn't realize that it's not a person, I guess, because that's what dogs are.
To be fair, that is the demon inside of Teddy Ruxpin. That's pretty normal that it's talking like that without a tape in it and no batteries. Like, we all have seen a Teddy Ruxpin eat somebody's face and then made maybe 2 Five Nights at Freddy's movies about it, one of which is utter trash, and the other one is also utter trash, but a slightly worse quality.
I've not seen any of this. But it's incredible how little there's, like, good physical comedy here. Although I will say, I wanted to mention some shout-outs. We said that, like, there are some bright spots in this movie, for me at least, which is Cloris Leachman's fun. She's the mom.
Yeah.
And she's...
Yes.
Like, she kind of just went off the rails when her son got lost in the snow. And she's been searching for him, so she's like this old retiree who really loves her cat. And she just constantly, like, walks into a scene and is like, ooh, like, Jell-O can help, and, like, throws the cat at somebody, which is actually a good bit. Like, there's a few moments of that where I kind of chuckled, like, he is learning, like, how to wash in a bath, and she's like, Jell-O can help, and, like, walks in and throws the cat on top of him into the bath water, like, things like that, where it's just like, this is not helping, this isn't helpful at all. She's doing, like, the what's wrong flashcards with Howie.
She's
and, like,
learning with him, yeah.
Really excited about
funny.
it, and, like, that's a good bit. The other one is, of course, Christopher Lloyd, who... he's given so little to work with, and he has to be the straight man in a way in this, which...
Because he's like the pseudo-villain, yeah.
Yeah, because he's... I think he's supposed to be the main villain, but they don't quite understand that and kind of drop it at various points. I don't know. But he has a great scene at the beginning where Boyks called it, wait, is this your conversation shotgun? Because he's talking to his wife, and he's just...
sorry, sir. His drunk wife. They made the movie made it very clear to us. This woman is 17 sheets to the wind at all time.
Rhonda, your father and I warned you about marrying into this family.
Well, they're blowing out your ass.
And also, for my spot in an actor, do you know who his wife was? Miss Colleen Camp. Camp.
Yes.
Who played Yvette, the sexy maid in Clue.
Right. Yep.
Yes, she was also in Clue with Christopher Lloyd. Yeah. I remember that.
Yeah. And she's pretty good, too. Like, it sucks that there's so many good actors in this, and then it's all focused on, like, Howie trying to do improv physical comedy, and he just can't.
It feels like a proto-Carrot Top movie.
Yeah, but
so
he has his conversation shotgun, as you're saying, because he's just having this conversation with her as he's, like, waving around this shotgun, and Boyks goes, well, at least he's got good trigger discipline, you can tell, because both of his fingers are on the trigger, and as you say that, he drops the gun and fires it, like, 6 inches away from his wife's head into their bar that they have on the wall. Just blows a hole in his own wall. And I'm like, okay, that was really good. That was a good joke. There was a good
bit.
There.
Yeah.
And the timing she had, too, of the effect goes off and she starts chugging a bottle of vodka, I thought was a very fun. It's like, you know what? You're in that one.
You'll notice that all the scenes that I am naming that I kind of liked a little bit for physical comedy had one thing in common. Let's do a what's wrong, spot the difference here. What's wrong with this? What wasn't in this?
There's no dog in that scene.
There's no dog. Yeah, there's no dog. You get see? Everyone gets it.
That makes sense.
Yeah. No Howie.
I also have a problem with, and maybe this is like due to the change of the times, the comedy tropes for the characters, I think just don't work.
Yeah.
Like the mom, I guess not the mom, the wife. Her character trope is that she's drunk. She's an alcoholic.
Mm-hmm.
But when you watch the movie, she's just an alcoholic, and it's just sad. That's not funny.
No, it's not. Yeah.
My note on that I had was Christopher Lloyd has no empathy for depression.
Yeah.
That was my note for how he interacts with his wife.
The mom's character is that she has PTSD, and she takes care of cats to try and raise something because she feels that she has lost something in her life when she lost her son. So she became a cat lady, and she loves cats and saves them from like shelters and then adopts them out. And I'm like, that's great. I'm glad that she does that. Why is this a bad thing? Why am I supposed to make fun of her?
Just the one cat in the house. It wasn't, like they even did a bit where there's 45 cats in a room, and she seems to responsibly be saving.
But that's supposed to be a
cats.
comedy element that she has, like.
Well, and obviously she's lost her mind. She takes care of cats. Like, that's kind of the joke. That's the humor. That's the whole thing. That's the bit, right?
Yeah, they're not good comedy characters.
No, and that's why, like, even with all of these talented actors, you can't have any of them really carry things. Like, a lot of the time when we have a movie like this, you might have somebody just do a Herculean effort and carry the movie really, really hard. Like, Christopher Lloyd could often do that, but he has nothing. There's nothing for him here. Same with, like, Cloris Leachman is like, okay, what's your motivation? Well, you're a crazy cat lady. Okay. Like, what are you gonna, right? Like, that's it. There's nothing there.
Yeah.
It all kind of rests on Howie, and I hate to be, boy, Howie Mandel fucking sucks. Because I don't hate Howie Mandel, but also, god damn, Howie Mandel fucking sucks in this. He is no, like, Jim Carrey or something.
So I just had an idea. All right. Mm-hmm. As we were watching this multiple times, at the end I said, every take in this movie was the best that they could get. And then we kind of said, no, it was the only one that they could get.
They gave up on doing more
I have another idea I just thought of. Okay. Mm-hmm. Boys, are you familiar with the Bobcat Goldthwait vehicle, Hot to Trot?
Yes.
I am not, but I do.
Okay. Oh boy. Goldthwait. Okay. Bobcat inherits a talking horse.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
brilliant.
yes.
Right away.
Yeah,
Love it. Okay. So the voice of the horse in the film as released is Canadian comedic legend John Candy.
Sure.
John Candy was not the original voice of the horse. The movie was filmed and in the can and edited. Elliot Gould was the original voice. John Candy came in, redid all of it ADR, and just kind of ad-libbed it to just try and make something of this mess. And I'm kind of feeling like there was another movie that they were trying to patch up or fix somehow, but they didn't have John Candy to save it. They had Howie Mandel, or maybe it was Christopher Lloyd got brought in. And
I think I know how you fix this movie. I think I know how you fix this.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Make it Christmas.
Yep. There you go. You solved it.
Done. Throw in all the holiday shit, in addition to all the dog shit. And you don't even need a movie at that point.
Don't worry, we didn't have one. I already discussed how there's like 5 plots and none of them equal a movie.
But okay, so at the end though, they take Howie to court because they're trying to prove that he's insane. He's not. He can't.
So he can get powers.
There was
the
a
money.
little setup. So
yeah.
Drunk wife's father is a prominent therapist psychologist, so they invite him. So they do the fancy dinner plot, right? We've seen these in tons of movies, right? Oh, the rich dowager, right? It's like a Marx Brothers bit. So the plan is we're gonna get Bobo, which is Howie's name, by the way. Friends,
we haven't mentioned Bobo once. They say
Bobo
so many times in this movie.
Yeah, it is Bobo.
Bobo?
Yep, that's his name.
Bobo. Yeah. Bobo.
His name's Bobo, by the way.
That's
Robert,
like the one
they call him
joke that
Bobo.
they really liked.
Yeah. So
also not a joke.
Not a joke. No. The plan is we're gonna get Bobo drunk, and then he'll revert to his wolf state, and because the next day was the big court hearing, and clearly, the father-in-law who's gonna be doing expert testimony will be on our side. And really, it just seemed like he was an alcoholic. It didn't necessarily seem like he was a wolf man. So like,
yeah, outside of the licking people's faces part, yeah.
You know, I've you know, okay, you guys know I've been
I get
divorced.
it. You're like
look,
6 or 7 shots of Malort in, and then
Look, maybe one time after I was divorced, I went to the bar that I worked at, and my friend's ex-wife, he'd also gotten divorced, was there, and she licked my face, and it made me very uncomfortable. And then I had to call him the next day and say, "Hey, man, your ex-wife licked my face, and it wasn't cool." It's like, "I am so sorry." It's like, "You don't have to be sorry. I just want you to know it was weird. It was very weird."
And I want you to know that also happens in Walk Like a Man.
Yeah, that was also
fucked up.
That might have been part of the conversation. We have conversations.
But anyway,
they go to the court.
They go to court.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and he then has like a impassioned speech, I guess you could say, at the end where he's like, "Yes."
And there's a thing too with this with court that we don't think is going to pay off, but it kind of pays off, but also it doesn't, because there was an earlier scene where Bobo goes to chase a fire truck. And arrives on the scene of a fairly serious fire. We think he's going to save her kid or something. No, he doesn't. He just jumps off. But he does give a mysterious lady her purse that she drops. And it turns out the mysterious lady was the judge. So going in, we think, this will have payoff. And
she's like, that's that dog that got my purse.
Yeah, what a good dog. No, it pays off, I guess, in that he gets her to admit that she just is really into seeing horrible fires.
Well, she's an arsonist, and there's nothing wrong with really wanting to see fires.
Yeah, I was going to bring up that line. It's an amazing one for a judge to say in court.
That line is fucking stupid.
it's amazing. It's good. Let them have one good thing, boys. Let me have a moment of joy.
But so it's $30 million that's going to Howie.
Yes.
Howie proves he's not too dog to be rich.
Yeah.
The judge gives him $30 million, and at the end he gets 30 briefcases of various denominations.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Oh yeah.
And then walks off into the sunset. Yeah. To start, I assume, a television series of some kind. Yeah.
About wolves in Alaska.
Yeah. They could call it Wolf on Wall Street. Something like because he's an investor.
It's like being a random investor. You're like picking companies out of these briefcases to like pick a specific,
and one of them has the most money.
Like a specific trade deal that you would make.
Yeah, and it's a skill game where you just pick a number and then say, "I'm keeping it for an hour."
But yeah, it's good to see that his career went up after this. But God. So like that, and that's this whole movie is just that, because there's really about 45 minutes in the middle of this that's just like supposed to be wacky hijinks of him like riding in cars and things, and it's all just him like crawling over people really weird or like stealing things from them, which doesn't equate to anything dog-like or even like wilderness really. He said more just toddler. It's very strange.
I think the problem is that Howie didn't commit enough to the bit.
Yeah, that's a lot of it.
I think that's it.
Yeah.
If I had a perfect cast for this film, if I was to remake Walk Like a Man in the year 2026, I would recast Howie's part, Danny DeVito.
Absolutely.
Okay. Yeah.
He would fucking commit.
Yeah, he would.
Everyone else the same. Including Cloris.
He's not a wolf man. He's not a wolf man.
Hold on.
Including Cloris Leachman. We talked about Weekend at Bernie's. We can do it. We have the technology.
We cannot Weekend at Bernie's. All the dead actors to remake
not the wolf man.
You've got the director from Weekend at Bernie's. He's an expert.
Well, Weekend at Bernie's, the director from Weekend at Bernie's, and also Cloris Leachman, and have Danny DeVito there.
If there's one person that can Weekend at Bernie's, it's going to be the guy that did Weekend at Bernie's. He could do it. We could get it.
I think you make this a Wes Anderson film starring Danny DeVito. Walk Like a Man.
Okay, and Wes Anderson's version of Walk
Like a Man. A Wes Anderson Walk Like a Man. I think
2.5 hours long. That's this version. Wes Anderson's
that could do it. Yeah.
But what the wildest thing is, after all of this, we get to the end. He goes, I want to get the money for my family, and that's the most human thing. And they go, wow, that is human. You get it. Congratulations. And he goes, my family of wolves. Ha ha ha. Joke.
Like a
and
rug
then they
pull.
quickly vend, and they go into, oh, let's show you all of the comedic moments from this movie that did make it into the movie, because it's actually just reruns of stuff already. It's not actually outtakes. It's just the single shot that we had from the movie in the mall,
but in reverse chronological order.
In reverse
I
order.
think we figured that out. It wasn't even like jumping back to the beginning. Hey, do you remember this? It was just starting with the most recent one we saw and then going further towards the beginning of the film.
It's bad when they're showing you like the sizzle reel of all the funny bits, and none of us were laughing at any of them. We're like, well, I remember when they did that. Yeah.
They really sells our idea earlier too of like that Howie either couldn't commit to the bit or like didn't get enough direction for the improv, or like something was just stymieing him, because, and talking about like how we only had one take for things because they didn't even have outtakes to put in their credits. Like they could have just left it and just not had them, but instead they're just, oh, here, let's throw up the single take.
It was absolutely, as soon as that started going, I thought, like, oh, we're going to do Smokey and the Bandit, right? It's the same time period. It's like Smokey and the Bandit. Everybody's going to start laughing. You know, the camera's going to visibly shake because they're chuckling. No, it is the shot we saw in the movie. Nothing is different.
I honestly think the credits would be better if it was just black.
Yes.
Dark
so much
screen
better.
with text going up. Better credits, because it's not reminding me of the film I watched. That's
silence too. No closing.
That's why. Well, if it's silent, then you have to sit there and think about the film. Like it's like when you walk into an art gallery and it's suddenly quiet, and you're like, "Oh, this is the piece. This is the one everybody comes to see. Oh, I can't wait to see that bird with like a trumpet up a guy's ass.
Oh yeah,
blowing
you're
into
also
his
a
mouth.
fan of Bosch.
This is the Bosch of
true
of movies, right? Like,
so
yeah, Howie Mandel's an ass. Let's rate him.
All right, we got it.
We got
so
our
there was a
guess. Go
scene.
ahead.
There was a scene where he was out on the town, and other dogs like him. He had at least a dozen dogs following him, right?
Yes.
So he's got
Maybe
some
more.
sort of got some sort of dog animal magnetism to him, which I don't think we should completely ignore. I think that's worth something. So
Okay.
if we're gonna rank him in dog out of 10,
so it's like a package deal, is what you're saying.
I said if we're dog out of 10, that's worth at least 3 points. Other dogs like him, I'm gonna trust
so
other
three
dogs.
Three out of 10 is what you're
As
saying.
what I'm
At least.
hearing.
That's where I'm starting.
I'm
now,
hearing
I'd like to
from
hear,
a 3 out of 10 kind of.
Yeah, let's work up.
I think
I don't think we can.
he's
work-
not quite on the
work up.
Chevy Chase scale for me,
Oh, God, not
which would
at
be
all.
like
Not at
way
all.
at the bottom. There's nothing like there's one offensive joke in
There's
the mall.
one
They
that's-
make a
yes, they do
homophobic
a
joke for
slur.
no reason.
Yeah.
There's that, but I would say
Which was remarkably tame, given movie from 1987. You hear there's a homophobic joke.
could be
I would've thought
worse.
It would have
It
been
could be
was-
worse.
Yeah.
The thing is that the reason that it's tame is the reason why everything in this movie sucks.
'Cause this has
is
no
'cause it's
energy.
So zero energy, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say I would give Howie Bobo a, where do you put it, in the square hole out of 10, which is also one of the things they do when she's teaching him how to speak and write his name. You just put every part of this film in the square hole. You don't need to cater any part of the film to any particular
true.
scene or emotion. Just put it in the square hole.
Yeah. And like
Yeah.
Bobo, you could maybe gnaw on it a little bit to kind of get the shape better.
Yeah, just fit it in. Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll work. That's how editing works.
Yeah.
And me, I had a rating in here in my notes already done. I have notes, by the way. Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you.
Okay.
I type mine. Okay, I got
But,
notes too, bud.
Well, but I'm known for not doing the notes.
Oh, okay. Congrats.
My notes are, so Howie was already ranked Nobody's noticed this. Howie, our job was already done at the beginning. He gets some very good belly rubs from Cloris Leachman as someone goes, this is good. This is great. So he's good.
This is great.
He's great. That's Howie.
Yeah.
He's great.
I do want to point out, this is also maybe one of the most uncomfortable kisses I've ever seen on film.
Oh, God.
Because all the context up to it is just not good.
And Ginny initiated, if I recall correctly.
Oh, yeah, she was
very
really
much
into
so.
it. Yeah. Yeah.
They have no chemistry together.
Well, okay, look, she just had to deal with this whole all of her friends got murdered at a lake in Jersey thing. Give the gal some credit. She's out there. She's getting out there. She's meeting people. She's meeting dog people.
I guess.
It's kind of nice, I guess, in a way that it is a reversal of normally the guy is a predator, because this is literal grooming. Just want to mention, by the way, this is...
Yes.
Like, that's the thing, is that you were saying that it was the bestiality angle that bothered you, Borks. And when I was watching it, I used to be, like, an educator. In a way,
I thought you were going to say a dog.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
It's as a like former educator myself, it's very similar. Yeah.
But it's gross. The whole
idea
power
of
dynamic of
someone that exactly the idea of someone that you're like socializing, you're doing it because you want to get with them, is so unbelievably
explicitly in her book, in her journal, saying she has the hots for him.
Yes. Is like unbelievably unethical. Like just instantly like, whoa, you should not be here for this.
Even if it's for a research paper.
So we did have the question of that earlier too, where we were asking if this is the most or least toxic I can fix him. And I think that it's both, because it's the least toxic from his side, but the most toxic from her side, which is a really, really weird change of the I can fix him toxicity levels that we're normally used to. Speaking of toxicity, you can help support us on Patreon as we end our podcast.
Sure.
Here. I don't know how I'm ending it.
Sure.
But you can help us with this. We do really appreciate it. We have to buy these and put it all together and get our cool guests on and do all this stuff. And, all the hosting fees and things definitely, cost us a bit of money. So we appreciate all the people that support us. We'll try and put up some extras and stuff as well onto the Patreon when we have them, little clips and stuff of actual video from the movies, like our reactions to things, stuff like that. You can send us in any movie ideas and stuff like that at our roughcutscast@gmail.com. Thank you very much, Jeff, for giving us a couple over the years. And then, do you have anything for yourself to promote, Jeff?
I do. All right. I'm gonna manifest. I'm gonna put this out into the world.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I would like to thank the gang here, and for helping me do stuff. As I said, I'm a charity streamer. I got a day job. I make spreadsheets. I've tried to get a bit more out there and do more, and I wouldn't say I feel like I've done all that I can do with my extra life stuff. I was like, well, why not keep pushing it? So let's manifest. I did. I submitted to GDQ, specifically Summer, for this year.
Mm-hmm.
Very nice.
Thank you to Boyks and Ryudo and Bobby for being my insider experts on, hey, does this look good? We'll find out as of this recording in like 2 weeks, a week from Friday. Games list is released. Fingers crossed. I'll be stair stepping and making some soup in Minneapolis.
Where can people find you to see this content?
This content I make, I've got the old twitch.tv/Jeff GEOFF_A_ghost. That's where I live at, and you'll find the YouTube page and the Blue Sky and all that from there. And Blue Sky, I post pictures of the cat. That's pretty good. I also get bored at work and just type my all caps, Gorf statuses. I think those are quite funny, personally.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm pretty hilarious. So you can check that out.
That's true. Okay, I got these like lab coats. I'm gonna need you to put on these lab coats. I got these like great Scots! Great Scots!
1.21 gigawatts.
we be able to write it?
I don't know. I don't know.
This is also what has been happening to
I'm gonna
George
have to
R.R.
start
Martin
from the
for the last 20
beginning
years.
When we write it. Sit down there.
Sit down and fucking write it!
Make me.